You often think that big policy shifts, they happen through long debates, official channels, maybe some closed-door lobbying. But what if just a comment on morning TV could actually spark a major presidential decision? That's the really fascinating situation we're diving into today.
It really is quite something. We're looking at how JP Morgan's CEO, Jamie Dimon, reportedly influenced President Trump's tariff policy. And the claim is he did it through a very strategic appearance on Fox News.
Right. And for this deep dive, our source is a transcript from the Ring of Fire YouTube channel. They really break down this alleged act of persuasion, the motivations, and, well, the president's pretty unique reaction at the time. So let's unpack it.
Okay, so to really grasp this, we should probably remember the context first. Trump's tariff plans. The narrator in our source mentions there was quite a bit of skepticism about the strategy, or maybe lack of one. Apparently, Trump even said his actions were because people getting queasy, which doesn't exactly sound like a solid economic plan.
No, it really doesn't. It sounds more, I don't know, reactive. But let's focus on Jamie Dimon here. This wasn't just him talking off the cuff. It was a specific show, specific network. Where and when exactly?
Okay, so the transcript says Dimon was on Fox News. It was a Wednesday morning, hosted by Maria Bartiromo. And the timing is really crucial here. It was right before Trump announced he was pausing those tariffs.
Okay, right before the pause. And what did Dimon actually say that supposedly got the president's attention?
Well, he laid out a pretty stark warning about the economy. He said, quote, if Trump keeps doing this, we're going to a recession. Pretty blunt. He did add he was taking a calm view, but it could get worse. So a direct warning about a major downturn, and importantly, on that specific network.
And this is where it gets really interesting, the reaction. Our source details what Trump did almost immediately, while Dimon was still on air.
Yes, it seems Trump was watching. He actually posted a quote from Dimon on Truth Social while the interview was apparently still going on.
Truth Social, right? His preferred platform. So what part did he quote? Was it the recession warning?
Well, no. That's the thing. He didn't quote the recession warning. Instead, he picked out something more, let's say, neutral, maybe even something that sounded vaguely supportive. He basically filtered Dimon's message.
Which brings us to the core argument in the source material. This wasn't just Dimon sharing his views generally. The Wall Street Journal insiders reportedly suggested it was much more intentional than that. What was the supposed strategy?
The claim is that Dimon knew Trump watched Fox News, especially that morning slot. He knew his audience. So the message, especially that recession warning, wasn't really for the public. It was aimed very precisely. An audience of one, as they put it, Donald Trump.
Wow. So a deliberate calculation. A bit of a gamble, really, as the source commentary notes. Betting that those specific words on that channel would actually, cut through and change the president's mind.
And according to the reporting mentioned in the transcript, it seems the gamble worked. It paid off. Because shortly after that Dimon appearance, President Trump announced the pause on the tariffs.
And the transcript even includes Trump's own words announcing it, which,
Right.
well, they offer a, let's say, unique window into his thinking, at least according to the narrator.
Oh, indeed. The quote provided is, well, listen to this. I watched Jamie Dimon in Maria Bartiromo show this morning, and he was very good.
Yeah.
He said that NEOA actually made the statement to the effect that something had to be done with the tariffs and trade. He said, look, at some point, but he said something has to be done with tariffs and trade.
Yeah, the narrator really focuses on how disjointed that sounds. Hard to follow the logic there.
Exactly. And the narrator quotes more. He's very smart and very genius. He's done a fantastic job at the bank, and he knows that. Everybody knows that. Anybody that's even a little bit smart knows it. And then it wasn't sustainable what was happening. Somebody had to pull the trigger. I was willing to pull the trigger.
Right. And the source's take on this is pretty clear. It suggests maybe there wasn't a solid long-term plan for the tariffs. And it even raises questions about, well, the coherence of the president's statements at that moment. It definitely makes it seem like the decision might have been quite reactive. Reactive perhaps to Dimon's warning, rather than part of some grand strategy.
So the narrator's final point is essentially that Dimon played it smart. He used Fox News, knowing Trump was watching, to basically manipulate the situation. But the narrator also stresses that maybe the bigger issue they see is the president's apparent difficulty in speaking coherently about it all.
Yeah, and the source pretty much dismisses any idea that Trump had this complex master plan for tariffs. It suggests he was more just reacting to things as they happened, and in this case, reacting to a powerful CEO on his favorite TV channel.
When you put it all together, it really does shine a light on how Sometimes policy decisions get influenced in really unconventional ways, doesn't it? This wasn't some formal briefing room discussion. It was a TV interview that apparently shifted things.
Exactly. I think the key thing to take away here is this story, this account of a top CEO using a media spot strategically to directly, and it seems, successfully influence presidential policy. It's quite a claim.
And it makes you think, doesn't it? When a CEO's opinion on TV seems to hold that much sway with the president, it kind of blurs the lines between, economic power and political decisions. You wonder who else has that kind of access, maybe bypassing the usual channels.
It definitely makes you question what communication lines really matter to those in charge and how these less direct methods of persuasion might be shaping things more often than we realize.
Yeah, think about what this implies if it happened this way. What does it say about certain media platforms being conduits to power? And could similar things, maybe less obvious ones, be happening in other political or social arenas, that kind of indirect influence?
Well, hopefully this deep dive has offered a clearer, if maybe a bit unusual, look at one specific moment in recent economic policy. It certainly gives you something to think about regarding influence, power, and how decisions actually get made.